Of flesh and blood I'm made. I am just a man. Human. Born to make mistakes. Welcome everybody to a live episode of Savage Cash. Here with me, Suppoman, your superhero cryptocurrency expert. In today's live episode, I am going to be telling you the 5 cryptocurrency mistakes that I have made doing investing and trading. And I'm going to be telling you them because, well, I'll tell you why. Because today I woke up on the wrong side of bed, okay? And you know what happens when that, you kind of wake up in the morning, you have a look on your phone or somebody, the first thing someone says to you and just gets you in a bad mood. So it got me reflecting. It got me reflecting on mistakes I've made. So I am going to be going through these in this video. So before I get started, if I could just have a quick like spike, basically, if you want to basically learn these type of mistakes, and also if you just like what I present on a day-to-day basis, if you like the competition that I am currently doing on my channel, and also subscribe if you just want to take that commitment a little further and you want to show your appreciation and get some daily videos as well. So before I get started on that, I just thought that I would, give some attention to what has happened in the market. Obviously, we've had what's happened with Bitcoin Gold. So people's opinions of Bitcoin Gold was that it's going to come into the market and basically it's not going to be very expensive. It's not going to be very valuable. It'll probably be $5, $10, $20, $100 at most. And yeah, if we have a look on CoinMarketCap and see what the price currently is, it's $409. Okay, when I had a look last night before, the fork actually took place, it was $508. Now it's $409, so it's actually not so bad at all. And I think a big reason behind this is because it's not really available. People haven't yet got their Bitcoin Gold. Now I store my Bitcoin in a Ledger wallet, and there was a helpful article brought out by Ledger earlier that were basically saying, that there will be a fork. You just need to hold the Bitcoin in a legacy or SegWit address before. Nothing else is necessary. Ledger will immediately add the Bitcoin Gold if and when the Bitcoin Gold code is available, and it has replay protection, which was essentially one of the main reasons why people did not think Bitcoin Gold was valuable or was a scam, or they weren't very happy with it or interested in having it because of this replay protection. Now, I'm not going to get overly technical, but essentially what happens is when you get Bitcoin Gold along with Bitcoin in your wallet, if you then send it to someone, the Bitcoin Gold, send it to someone, send it to an exchange, it merges the transfer with your Bitcoin. So you could lose both, essentially. That's the simplest way of putting it, although it's not the technical way, it's the simplest way. So essentially, by not having the replay protection, there's every likelihood you could lose your Bitcoin with your Bitcoin Gold, okay, which is obviously bad news if you've got like 50 Bitcoin, which, that's worth a hell of a lot of money. That's worth $250,000 or more, nearly $300,000. So you could just lose that because of the lack of replay protection. That is why this turns so many people off. So Ledger are only going to be adding the Bitcoin Gold once Bitcoin Gold have sorted things out. Now, I showed you yesterday, in yesterday's video, I showed you that they put on their website that they actually had replay protection. Okay, but if you go on their website now, it's down. I mean, that's not the best, is it? It really is not the best thing to see. So essentially, Bitcoin Gold has happened. It's going to be coming into people's wallets, and it's basically not as invaluable or as rubbish as people said it was. Certainly not at this point, but it's probably because people haven't had a chance to dump it yet, even though the fork has actually taken place. So that is Bitcoin Gold. So I'm waiting for it. My personal, kind of strategy with it is, as soon as I get it, if it's got replay protection, I'm just gonna shift it personally. However, if for whatever reason there should be a massive delay in me getting it, and then the value goes significantly down, almost rock bottom, like virtually worth nothing, like the price of an honest go, then I will keep it and hold it for the long term. That's my personal strategy. You can do it. You don't have to do it. It's up to you at the end of the day. So anyway, so that is Bitcoin Gold. So let's have a look and just see what's happening in the market. which is exactly what I thought would happen. Okay, basically, altcoins are now surging. They've bounced, and I said they would bounce. Okay, and you know, some of them are bouncing amazingly well. Neo has bounced really nicely. Ethereum's gone up quite nice. Dash is just below $300. That was about $260 the other day. A very nice rise for Omis Go. Now, I said to you, yeah, get some Omis Go at rock bottom prices. I got it just under $7 because I was just I had the buy order for it and I saw it was going down and it just activated, which was insane. So now it's gone up to $8.53. It's actually got up to near $9 today. So I mean, so it's really good. So some of these have bounced back. Most of these have bounced back quite nicely. But then at the end of the day, we saw a lot of the bottom yesterday. So it's not a surprise. Most of them have gone up. I mean, it was always going to happen. Economy, which was one of the ones that was my long-term coin. Look at the price of that, even with a bit of a bounce. God, it's absolutely catastrophic, really. But otherwise, you know, a lot of cryptocurrencies looking really good today. I mean, even Digibyte's had a really nice bounce. Look at that. And it's even still under a cent. So that's insane. I obviously don't touch Digibyte. And I will be actually talking about Digibyte in one of my mistakes. So, yeah. So anyway, so that's it for today's, you know, so basically the time to do the work was before. Okay. Now, you know, you will be, if you bought accumulated low, like I suggested, then you would now be realizing the benefits. And really, this is great for short-term trading as opposed to long-term holds. Yeah, sometimes long-term, you know, you can get a good long-term hold at a very low price, you know, one that you really wanted. Let's say on Misco, get just under $7, and you can ride that wave, you know, for its eternity or however long it takes you to realize its true potential. But there is another fork coming. So I don't anticipate this is going to last forever. And Bitcoin, as you have seen, that has gone down with the fork, as we thought it would, because people just needed to hold it for the time of the fork. And when the fork happened, it basically had a bit of a sell-off. Okay, so, you know, right now it's a lot lower than where it has been when it hit its all-time high. And that's to be expected. And there are people, I've got a lot of mates that are whales in this game, and they're all anticipating that Bitcoin's going to go down significantly, like down to like under $4,000, which I don't know if I agree with, but it's very early to say because it's not had so much of a plummet since the fork. So, you know, maybe that's because people haven't yet received their gold and they're not going to get rid of any Bitcoin until that time. So actually, that's probably a good exercise. So just before I get into my top 5 mistakes, we can have another like spike. If you haven't yet liked, or if you've joined after, because obviously this is live right now, if we could just have a quick like spike, then that would be really, really handy. And I'm going to look live, just have a look live and make sure I'm live. And then I'm going to do the competition first, and then I am going to go through my top 5 mistakes. So let me just make sure that I am actually live. Yeah, I am live. Yeah, okay. 481 people watching. So smash those likes up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my winner of yesterday's competition. Okay, so I'm not going to be going into my Ether wallet because a lot of people said don't publicize that stuff. So obviously, good idea not to. So I'm not going to show that. I'm just going to pick the winner and I'm going to do the transfer afterwards. Okay, so don't worry, it will happen. Okay, so anyway, so in yesterday's video, I basically said, leave your My Ether wallet with a really good comment and I will give you 100 of my #1 coin. Okay, so I'm now going to get this video. I'm going to chuck it into my favorite random comment picker website. And now hopefully it's going to do its magic. It's going to tell me I've got way more views than I really have got, but the other stats are actually correct. So I haven't got 2 million views, nearly 3 million views, unfortunately. So let's do it. Let's go. Might have been a bit too high pitched for that. Let's pick a winner. Rigorous. Nice. And he's got a decent question as well. So let me just copy this. Copy this. Hope that's right. I would hate for somebody to miss out and basically for my monies to go somewhere where it shouldn't. That would be really, really disappointing. So I'll just copy that in there for afterwards. So, what's the question? You are right, Suppoman. Utrust will have to prove that their business plan works in practice. Still, the idea sounds pretty good. PayPal with built-in escrow service and cryptocurrency support. So in yesterday's video, as well as coming out with big crypto announcement, question mark, question mark, question mark, I also spoke about Utrust, the Utrust ICO. I did my whole Savage Crypto episode on that and gave the positives, the negatives, and then my overall, final rating. So, hopefully that infused or inspired some of you. But I got to admit that looking through the questions, there were some amazing questions being asked. And to be honest, I really hoped there would be more, that I could pick more winners. I'd love to pick more winners because there were some really good comments. I love some of those comments. Some of those comments asked amazing questions. So I want to do the same again today. So basically, make a really good comment, question me, test me, give me a question that really tests me. A bit disappointed this one didn't test me. It's not really a question as such, but just test me, because I love being tested. I love being challenged. I love people asking me my thoughts on certain things. Cryptocurrency on a deep level, cryptocurrency on a, on a particular coin, whatever. Just question me. Put your My Ether wallet address. I will give you 100 of my #1 coin. All right. So yeah, so we're doing that again. So just make sure that you take part. Now, let me just make sure that I'm okay. You can hear me and all that, and there's no microphone issues. You can see me okay, so that's cool. That's cool. 551 people watching right now, so smash those likes up. Smash those likes up. Keep those likes coming. Keep those likes coming. And I've just added it. Look. Bang. Actually, I just disliked it. Bang. There we go. Right, so let's move on now to my top 5 mistakes, okay? Oops. Where does it... yes. Okay, good. So it does start from the bottom. So now I'm going to go through my top 5 mistakes doing trading and investing. It's all fine and good me coming and saying, remember Omisco? I said try and get it as low as possible and it's gone up, blah, blah, blah. It's all fine and good for me to say, yay, look at me. I've done great. I've been right again. So now I'm going to go through maybe times I've not been right or things that I've learned anyway, certainly in the game of cryptocurrency, because this has been obviously a journey for me too. You've obviously followed me on it. If you watched all the way from right back, back in May when I started doing these cryptocurrencies videos, you will see I've come on since then. Not come on, like the colour of my jumper, but you know what I mean. So anyway, so let's go through these mistakes, okay? So, #1, this is going to be a big bitter pill to swallow. Okay, and a lot of people will know me for this. Failures cannot be predicted. Okay, and the example I'm showing here is a cryptocurrency that was at ICO stage literally about 3 months ago and is still in my course and serves as an example, really. And that is Superior Coin. I really liked Superior Coin. It had some great stuff going for it. It had a Superman logo, pretty much as the S. You can see it on the logo on this video. It essentially was linked to a social media website, a bit like Steam, where you would get paid for comments, posts. People could pay you, could tip you, they could pay you anonymously. And it was really good. It was an anonymous cryptocurrency as well. And so I was excited about it. It was a 1 cent a coin, and it had some really good stuff going for it. And I was confident enough in it. I actually put it in my course and said, this is a cryptocurrency that I've invested in. This is me showing you the process. And it actually came back to really bite me on the ass. Okay, because what happened with Superior was there was a founder and a developer. Not going to name names, but essentially the founder was the one who he had mates, and one of his mates was Jerry Banfield, and Jerry Banfield told me about it, and he said, this is really cool. You like Steam. This is a lot like Steam. And he said, this sounds pretty good, and this is getting into it at 1 cent. And I was like, yeah, it looks pretty good. So I had a look at it myself. I thought, yeah, this looks pretty good. And then what happened was that, of course, the founder had the vision, had the grand vision. The developer was making the vision happen, right? And then what happened, literally weeks before this was going to go on the market, the developer ran off with everything and left the founder, who was the guy who essentially was the interface between the investors and the company. He was just left holding, you know, it was like, this is my vision, and it's all been gone. It's all been taken. And now Superior Coin is something else. And then he tried to create another cryptocurrency. But ultimately, it kind of left this one dead in the water, certainly for some time. And a really nasty, nasty taste this left in the mouth. It really did. The morning that this all happened, I was in Mauritius, in the sun, having a great time. And then I looked on my mastermind group, and then, wow, look at that. I mean, it was like front page news, and everybody was talking about it, and everybody was worried about it. And of course, I was the one that put everybody into this thing, because they'd gone onto my course, they joined the mastermind group, they were talking about Superior Coin. A lot of them had reservations, I suppose, but, you know, they carried on regardless. And then ultimately, you know, this was a real kick in the teeth. And of course, I couldn't predict it. I didn't see this happening. Who could? You know, in some instances where, the cryptocurrency ends up just being a complete failure, or there's something wrong in everything they're doing, you can almost see signs something bad's going to happen. With Superior Coin, although there were people shouting scam, 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 people shout scam, scam, scam on everything, so you can't necessarily differentiate actual scam from perceived scam. So this was a total shock, and that was a massive, massive blow to me. I'd put quite a lot of money in Superior Coin, and I just couldn't have predicted it was going to happen, but it happened, and it left a lot of the investors out of pocket. But that's what happens. So failures cannot be predicted. As much as I love to be right, as much as I love to say this is likely to go up because of X, Y, or Z, you know, sometimes it can count against me, and count against me in a catastrophic way. And this one did. And I am, like, immensely sorry to all the people that unfortunately got burnt by this thing. But at the end of the day, I'm an investor like everybody else. I didn't work for the company or anything. I didn't or couldn't have seen any of this coming. But even still, was really sorry. So this was one big mistake that I made. And really, you can't predict failure. You can't predict what's going to happen. You could basically invest in a cryptocurrency you think has enormous potential that subsequently burns you. And it happens. And unfortunately, it will continue to happen. But it's just to basically be aware of that, and don't invest more that you can lose. That's the learning point. Don't invest more than you can lose. What you invest, essentially, accept that that money's gone, and that if it does really well for you, perfect, bonus. But just kind of look at it with a perspective of that money's gone now, and hopefully it'll go up. But sometimes it will go down or just disappear. It hasn't disappeared completely. I've still got 100 and something thousand tokens in Superior, but they've been taken on by the developer, and God knows what's going to happen with that. In at number 4, relevance equals value. Okay, so Stratis was a cryptocurrency that I had high hopes with end of May, beginning of June. Okay, so I invested in Stratis at $1.17, which I thought was an amazing price to get it, because I was hearing some great stuff about it. I looked into it. I thought, oh, yes, this is great. Great features that they've got. Invested in it. And then, of course, I rode the wave. It was relevant. Everybody was talking about it. It was like Walton chain or whatever. It was like the really hot one at that time, a few months ago. And it's funny because in cryptocurrency, months feel like years, because Stratis, when it was $11, feels like such a long time ago. But anyway, this was really hot back then. And then it plummeted, obviously, from $11, nearly $12, $11.70 or so, to now just $3. It's now making a move up towards $4, but even there, it's massively undervalued compared to where it was. Blitzcash is the same. I invested in Blitzcash at 19 cents, and this went all the way up to $3.91. This, before my number 1 coin, was my best ever gain. Okay, it was like 22 times gain, which was absolutely insane. That was where I saw the power of cryptocurrency. But Blitzcash then went subsequently down to well below $1. I sold at the right time. But with Stratis, I didn't. Stratis, I kept my money in and still have my money in because I believe in it. But at the same time, what I learned is if it's not hot, then it loses value. It's a bit like celebrities, okay? They're kept hot because of their social currency. They're kept hot because they're in the press, they're in a Hollywood film, they're in a TV sitcom that's viewed all worldwide, like The Walking Dead, which I watched last night, and the season premiere was just so awesome. But let's say, you know, they're the star on The Walking Dead or something like that. They're hot right there. They're hot right now. It's like, yes, you can't get enough of them. They're blowing up on Twitter, blowing up on Instagram. They're huge. Then all of a sudden, they get photographed snorting coke or something, or they just don't get seen or heard of for a while. They just go into hibernation or something. They become a recluse or something like that. And then they lose their relevance. They're no longer hot, okay? And therefore, their value just goes right down. Same with crypto, okay? Now, this can bother you if you're investing for the long term, which is why it's really good to get in at a bulletproof price. So this taught me that as long as I get in at a bulletproof price, I'm not unhappy, because with Stratisar going at $1.17, that's bulletproof pretty much. You know, I can't see it going much below that. But at the same time, you know, I thought Stratis was destined to become, you know, the next 3-figure coin, you know, next year. And of course, it still could. But having said that, it needs relevance. And it needs a constant flow of relevance to keep it going. So, for instance, Omis Go. Great launch. Everybody was buzzing about it. McDonald's partnership. Everybody was buzzing about it. It was just continuing to go up. And that's how a crypto needs to be. If there's relevance, the value goes up. If it loses relevance, if it goes out of the public eye, the value goes down. So a lot of people say, Suppoman, what's up with this? What's up with that? Well, the fact of the matter is, if the relevance goes, you know, I can't magic it from nowhere. It's up to the company themselves to come up with something. A new wallet, a new person in their team, a launch of their platform, something like that to actually bring up the relevance. Okay, so it needs to be done in stages. But that was a mistake, thinking that a cryptocurrency would just keep on going up and up and up and up and up, and because it goes from $1 to $11 in the space of 2 weeks, then it's going to go up to the hundreds, if not thousands, eventually. That was a mistake, and that brought me right back down to earth. And it's important to be realistic, okay? You can make insane profits in cryptocurrency, but sometimes you have to wait a hell of a long time, which is why long-term investing doesn't appeal to a lot of people, but it is the safer kind of method. So relevance equals value, and that's just something that you have to deal with, and something I constantly kind of deal with. Number 3, a coin can be hot one day and shit the next, okay? Now, if you've taken my cryptocurrency, course, then you will know I am in that course. When I filmed it back in May or something, I was a massive evangelist for Digibyte. Okay, so let's have a look at Digibyte. So I got in Digibyte at 0.008 of a cent. Okay, so quite a bit cheaper than it is now. No, it was 0.006 of a cent I got into Digibyte in. And I basically rode this wave. I created a lot of the hype around it, but of course, well, I didn't create it, but I helped exacerbate it. Okay, which was essentially the Citibank competition, and this went above 6 cents. This made 10 times gain in literally the space of, you know, less than 4 weeks. It's made a 10 times gain, and everybody was loving Digibyte. Oh, this is going to be $1 by the end of the year, or this is going to be $1 next year. It's going to be $5 in a year and a half's time. And then, of course, what's happened since then is a massive parabolic growth loss spiral. It went up and then it went poof down, smashed it. It went down to low, almost as low as it was before the spike. Now, sometimes with some cryptocurrencies, they spike up, they go down a bit, spike up, go down a bit, spike up like Bitcoin. Okay, but with Digibyte, no, it got killed off. Okay, and basically that killed off the coin. It went from being this golden hot coin everybody loved, there was a community defending it and loving it, and it just got shit all over. Just got shit all over. Look at it. It's just been absolutely just destroyed, annihilated. Okay, its value just gone, right? And what happened is it tries to get its head above water, and then somebody just puts his foot on its head and presses her down again, which is no less than she deserves. But anyway. And also, I mean, there's other ones. I mean, let's have a look at Flick, okay? Flick was really hot a couple of weeks ago. Flick was really hot, and again, I was one of the ones that helped this, you know, really saw parabolic growth again. Look at that. You know, I picked it up around about here, and then boom, spiked the hell up. Actually, I picked up around about 14th. Yeah, about 14th. And spiked the hell up here. And then now look, it's gone down to lower than it was before people were even getting hyped about it. So that is a pure example of hot right now, shit the next. Look at that. And it was at 600 million supply, and now it has gone down to 80 million. It's ditched the 520 million flick that was total supply. It's ditched it completely and now left it with 80. And even with that, and typically when you take out a load of tokens, it inflates the price, okay? It inflates it catastrophically. I mean, you can see it by that here. But it doesn't reflect in the price. People, this has died. This has died, okay? And it happens with a lot of cryptocurrencies. COS is another one, probably not as bad an example as Flick, but COS was one that a couple of weeks ago everybody hyped about. You know, everybody was like, yes, this is the exchange of the future. This one has everything. You know, all of us, it just absolutely blew the hell up. And now it is literally blown up. It's gone. Okay, it's dead. All right, dead. It's not as dead as it was here, but it's still pretty dead. Okay, so that is terrible. Okay, so coins could be hot one minute, shit the next. Okay, basically you've just got to keep an eye out, because there's so many people, and I know there are still, you know, believers of Flick right now who are saying, you know, oh, you know, they're going to be adding this and that to the platform, and basically it's now down to Flick to try and I suppose make the situation better for its investors. But it's going to take a hell of a lot like Stratis, it's going to take a hell of a lot to move it back to its former glory. And I think that it's left a bitter taste in the mouth. Unlike Stratis, where people still believe in that, Flick has left a bitter taste in the mouth. I think a lot of people distrust them, distrust the founder. He certainly burnt his bridges with me. I helped put this on the map, and then he goes and calls me some YouTuber. So, you know, I'm unsurprised that he kind of got some negative press. So anyway, yeah, so there we are. So a coin, you've just got to be careful. This is where researching is absolutely essential. Okay, if you research your coins, then you should be able to see the future value of a cryptocurrency. You should be able to see, right, yeah, this has got really good long-term potential. You can look at other business models that offer similar kind of propositions to, you know, the market that they're looking to cater for, and you can pretty much see, does this have long-term potential, or is there too much competition? Are they going to get smashed, you know, by other people? Like Monetha, for instance, you know, one minute they were really hot, now everybody's kind of can't wait for Utrust. So, you know, so a coin could be hot one day. You know, Monetha sold out. Monetha was like, everybody was like into Monetha. Everybody was into Tron. And then as soon as they, you know, came on the market, got dumped. Tron's doing a bit better than Monetha. Monetha just got dumped so badly. I think it's still under ICO price. Don't know for sure. Probably shouldn't say that. But I'm just saying that certainly a week ago, Monetha was kind of left dead in the water. So a coin could be hot one day and shit the next. Okay, so you've got to be part of the community that helps drive it and makes the value, the perceived value, certainly stay hot. In at number 2, I can't be right all the time. So if you look at my earlier videos, you will certainly see that I was right a lot of the time. You know, I called Stratis, I called Blitzcatch, I called Digibyte, I called NXT, I called Economy, I called all of these ones. How wonderful I am. But basically, I can't be right all the time. And the biggest example of this was Scenario. Okay, so they had a beta launch of their WildSpark platform. They had a beta launch, and of course, Altcoin or Scenario is the cryptocurrency attached to WildSpark, right? And literally a day before, I mean, it hadn't gone up really massively on the lead up to this announcement. But then the announcement came saying, we're going to be launching tomorrow or in a couple of days. And I said, I went on YouTube and I said, this is looking like it's going to do well. This is looking like it could grow. After the video, it grew up a little bit, went up like it was I think it was 70 cents, 75 cents. And it was going up towards 80 cents. And then it just plummeted so catastrophically. And it made me realise just how you know, how one can make mistakes, you know? I mean, it wasn't really a mistake on my part. You know, a lot of people do buy the rumour, trade the news, you know? They buy and then they sell when the news actually becomes relevant. You know, when the date actually happens. The news is the important thing, not the date, okay? Which, you know, Flick was a perfect example. You know, the news was what spiked it up. But the actual token burn itself, everybody already gotten out at that point. And Scenario was an instance where I learned that that can happen. Okay, that, you know, especially if it's not got a good amount of time between the announcement and the actual occurrence of what's going to happen. There isn't a big enough date to elapse between the two. Then what happens essentially is that, yeah, it can just dive straight away because people know it's coming up and so they buy and then they sell. And at the time that this happened at a time, around about AntShares time actually, this happened at a time during Bitcoin crash a couple of months ago, where nobody could hold on to anything. When they were buying and things that were looking like they were going to go up, it just fell straight away because people couldn't hold. They held, made a small profit because they were making loss after loss after loss. So whenever they made a small profit, they sold. Okay, and that was what happened with Scenario. It made a small profit. It started to drop, and then it really dropped. It really tanked. And I still hold Scenario as this learning point. I look at my Scenario and I think, yes, this was a time when I was catastrophically wrong. And I still look at it and I think, Suppoman, you don't call it right 100% of the time. You can get it insanely wrong. And I guess the real learning point from this was this was a very short-term trade. I was never going to stay with Scenario, but I didn't set a stop loss. That is where I really got, when it came to trading, stringent about a stop loss must be set all the time, okay? So that if such a thing happens, I am not burnt so badly, okay? So, yeah, so anyway, so that is basically the learning point. To learn that basically, even if you've got some market news, the closer you are to the date, the more chance there is of it absolutely tanking, okay? And then secondly, have a stop loss. So that if you're doing a trade, you can't lose more than at the price you invested in, okay? So you may make a slight loss on the transaction fee, but at least you're not making a horrendous loss, which I have gone on to. So I've kept that one just to make myself stay a bit humble. So what do you think number one is? I'm going to put this through to you live. I may as well, so that I can have some dialogue and it's not just me talking. So let's just see what you guys have got to say on the matter. And while you're here, guys, there's 835 people watching. Let's have another like spike. Let's just have a roll call and like spike, basically. If you haven't yet liked, there's 356 likes. There's 830 people watching. I calculate that as being around about only 40% or just a bit less have liked. So like it if you can. Smash that like. Smash that like. It encourages me. Yeah, it makes me feel good. Especially on a day like today when I woke up on the wrong side of bed. Hey Suppo, Crypto Caven says, hey Suppo, do you do paid one-on-one meetings where we can chat about a few coins? I don't actually. I don't do that. Somebody actually asked me on my cryptocurrency mastermind group. Not mastermind, they asked me in my Udemy course. They said, do you do one-to-one? I'd like to learn one-to-one. So it's still something I do. Something I may one day do. Rudy Mers, my moderator, saying Qcoin, 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 Qcoin. So Qcoin. And that at the moment is definitely hot right now. So, and I think you can only still get it on Qcoin, the exchange. Smash those likes, smash those likes. So what do you think is the number one? What do you think is the number one mistake I've made? Or at least the number one learning point. Let's see what people are saying. Oh, people are just asking me to. People are just asking me to comment on coins. Comment on coins. Nah, nothing. Neo wasn't a mistake. Neo was one of my many. I don't know. I suppose one of my not many actually. It was one of my glory moments really. Neo calling that early. B3, no, B3's awesome. That's doing really well. I've got over 200,000 coins, whereas the other day I had 150 something. So I've got well over 200,000 coins now and well on the way to a masternode number, which I should have by the end of this month. Getting married? I'm not married. I'm not actually married. Can you believe that? Hashtag can't believe Suppoman's not married. Thank you, Gabriel, for my about talking about Superior Coin. Yeah, I know that was that was a bit of pill to swallow. Talking too loud. No. Suppoman ain't ever going to change. Okay, so don't even think he will. Okay, if you don't like Suppoman, go watch Box Mining. Go watch Data Dash. They're much more low-key. If you want to watch somebody who doesn't stick their neck out, watch them. They don't stick their neck out. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. That's just them. I'm not like that. I do stick my neck out. It opens me up. And that brings me very nicely to my number one. My number one is that people are not appreciative in cryptocurrency. That is a mistake and an assumption that when you help somebody, you put the hours in, you give them tips, that they're going to be appreciative. My mistake is believing people are appreciative, okay? And this is one of the reasons why I got out of bed the wrong side this morning. It's because the people that I have helped on YouTube, or helped with tips, or helped with anything, you know, my courses, people say, oh, Suppoman just shills his courses. No, my courses teach, okay? So instead of me just coming on YouTube, or you looking for someone random on YouTube to find out how to do cryptocurrency, I have put my own time and effort. Obviously, I get paid for it, and so I should. You shouldn't get paid for doing a job. But, like, I put time and effort to actually educate properly and give people the skill set I've got, so that they can do it and be on par with, like, the whale investors I know. I know how a lot of people's minds work. I know how they invest. And I teach a lot of that. And that people basically are just not appreciative. Okay? And especially when it comes to tips. Okay? So, I mean, so if we just go back, right? Let's take a trip down memory lane. Okay? Let's take a trip down memory lane. Okay? Because I love doing that. I love reminiscing. Thank you, Facebook. Anyway, so let's take a look down memory lane. So look at these. These were my early videos, okay? And some of these, I mean, I don't know if you used to watch me back in the day. Say if you have, that'd be awesome. But back in the day, I used to do it with Poloniex in the background. I used to have Poloniex in the background. That used to be my default. Now it's CoinMarketCap, but it used to be Poloniex. Okay, and these were my videos. This is a perfect example of what my background looked like. Okay, and I used to help people. I used to say how to react when your coin drops in value. What's the #1 cryptocurrency to invest in? You know, Digibyte soaring, get on it. Steam soaring, get on it. This was just when Steam was on its way to going up to nearly $3. #1 way to make savage cash with cryptocurrency. How to get an optimal price. How to spot when a crypto is going to soar. Dash at $200. The rise of NXT, Economite. I forget Einsteinium. I made some great calls, right? And I used to, you know, there were articles written about me on Reddit or wherever, where people would say, Suppoman is bang on. Yeah, Suppoman, he is normally right. He's normally right, yeah? And then fast forward now 3 months, and essentially what we've got now is the same people that used to say, thank you for making me money, and now the same people that stab me in the back, call me a scammer, say that I'm a pump and dumper, say that I'm just out to make money and not help people and this is all just a facade, right? Those are the same people, okay? Now, I've not fundamentally changed. I'm still the same. I'm still adding value. I still come on here every day. I even came on here Sunday, Saturday. I help cryptocurrencies out. A lot of them approach me. They offer me money. I say no. I say I want to give objective reviews, okay? And people offer me money. I could be a multi-millionaire based on a lot of the money I've been offered. Obviously, I've got a lot of subscribers, so I've got a lot of power. I could make a lot of money out of it. But I want to make objective reviews, so I don't take the money. And even doing that, people still say, he's a scammer, he's out to make money, when that is complete shit. Okay, so people just aren't appreciative. The people that loved you and made great gains out of you, and then turn into the people that then kick you in the backside or kick you in the face, stamp on your nads, backstab you, and then go and watch somebody who gives you no tips anyway and say he's the best. Okay, so everybody's like, oh yeah, Data Dash is #1, Box Mining's #1. You know, 2 months ago they were nowhere to be seen, and I was at the top of the tree, right? And then these people who decide that instead of basically I've done the research. I found out through relevant sources that something's going to go up. These people now stab me in the back and say, oh yeah, Suppoman, he was good to make me a bit of money, but then I got burnt on this, so now I'm loving Data Dash and Box Miner, who give me absolutely no tips, no short-term tips at all. I mean, the other day when I talked about B3 coin, it went up nearly 10 times during the course of the stupid video, for God's sake. That is just what I do. And it's not because I'm a pump and dumper. I'm not a pump and dumper. I talk about cryptos. I inform you of cryptos. And it's up to you. I don't say, buy, buy, buy. I don't go on here and say, you must buy, you must buy. If you're watching me, you must buy. I don't do that. I give you the information. You can make the decision. But of course, people just can't help themselves but make a decision. It doesn't work out well for them. It may have worked out well for me. It doesn't work out well for them. They bought at the peak, not when I said. And then they all of a sudden, they go, Suppoman is a pump and dumper. He pumps the coins, he sells his coins, and we're the bag holders. Bullshit. Okay, B3 coin, I've still got B3 coin. POSW, I still got POSW. And these are the ones that people, my number one coin even, people say Suppoman's dumped his number one coin, that's why it's gone down. People are so stupid and unappreciative, and they're like, oh, Suppoman, he's so loud. Oh, Suppoman, he's always talking shit coins. Let's go back to point number 3. Hot one day, shit the next, okay? One day, a coin can be really highly regarded. And then all of a sudden, when it dumps, oh, it's shit. Oh, and Suppoman made a video about it. So he pumps shit coins. This is just the idiocy that happens in cryptocurrency. So that inspires me to go on Twitter like I did earlier and essentially have my own little rant. Because to be honest, as I sang at the beginning of this video, which if you haven't seen, watch, I'm only human at the end of the day. I have emotions too. I may be a superhero of cryptocurrency, but I have emotions too. So I go to my fans, I love you. If you're watching me and you're a fan, I love you. If you're a hater, fuck you, basically. That's basically my message to you. Fuck you. Alright? And I'm not going to be, I'm not going to censor myself. That's true, because a lot of the people that hate me are the ones that loved me previously and then decided that I was a scammer because they're so stupid and misinformed that they now are a hater and they say, oh, blah, 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 Suppoman's so loud, he's so brash, I don't like the way he talks, I don't like the way he treats people. Fine, then piss off then, I'm not interested in you. But what I will say is I'm not a boring YouTuber, okay? I'm not one of the ones that gets praise for not taking a risk. They're two particular YouTubers who do market news mainly and talk about what's happening and maybe do some education and maybe some charts and wanky stuff like that. And of course they are like, oh yeah, oh they're so great, they're so brilliant. They don't put their neck out and they don't risk their reputation. I come on here every day in the face of the fact that I've said these things in the past and still do it. And I risk my reputation and I come here even when people are saying Suppoman pumped a shit coin and I still turn up, So at the end of the day, I'm not one of those people that are vanilla. I'm not one of those people who just comes here, what's up guys? It's Suppoman here. Let's have a look and see what's happening in the market. Oh yeah, the market cap is this. Bitcoin's gone up. This has gone up. That's gone up. That's fine. Right, Bitcoin gold. Let's have a look at Bitcoin gold. This are the facts about Bitcoin gold. These are the facts against Bitcoin gold. Move on to the next subject. All completely objective, kind of like non-risky, videos. It's easy to. I could do that. I mean, would you watch me if I did that? Would you watch me if I went online and I said, "This is the market news. This is this. This is that. Bye bye." Would you like that? Or would you actually like me to give you something of substance? Me to actually tell you what is good about a crypto, inform you of a crypto, why I'm investing in a crypto, and what I see as the future of that crypto. Okay, do you like that, or do you just like boring market news that anybody could do? Anyone could do it. Anybody could start a YouTube channel right now and doing the exact same thing. Okay, but that's not how I roll. And if that's the kind of thing you like, fine. But go do it. There's a time and a place for both. You can have somebody like me coming online saying this and somebody like them to find out what's happening in the market. There's no reason why these two can't coexist. But I won't ever be like those people. I won't ever be boring. I won't ever be a person that talks very monotonously and quietly. I am who I am. This is what you subscribe to. This is what you come to watch. I am, you know, what you have subscribed for. Okay, and that won't change. If I change it, I may as well just be a different person. This is me. Okay, so ultimately that is it. That is it. But what I have recognised is that people just are not appreciative in the game. They're not appreciative. And that's just something one has to get used to. I mean, another thing, right? A lot of the people who talk bad about me in comments on other people's videos, like for instance, Crypto Daily did a video earlier today and he talked about me. And there are people in his comments saying, oh, I wouldn't go near Suppoman. I wouldn't go near Suppoman. And you know why? Because these are people I kicked out of my mastermind group. Why? Because they were idiots. They were going against the rules. They were spamming referral links or some rubbish that is against what my group is about. And I kicked them out. And now these are the people backstabbing me. No appreciation. Unappreciative dicks. Okay? And it's not just the investors and traders. It's also some cryptos as well. Just not appreciative of the work that you do. Like Flick, for instance. He wasn't appreciative that I helped pump the coin. You know, and he came on board and he said some YouTuber, you know, so, you know, fuck you, basically. So, yeah, people are appreciative in crypto, and that's just it, and that's just the way it is. But the fact of the matter is that these are all learning points. These are all things you can learn from, okay? You can essentially see what has happened to me and just learn from it. If you give a tip to someone, 1 minute they'll love you, you give them another tip, and then they'll hate you the next. Sometimes you even get hated for helping people. Now, my moderator, he did a post not long ago. He did a post on my mastermind group. He said, guys, I've heard something bad. Get out. And he was basically absolutely brutalized. They got death threats and all sorts, right? And I said, yeah, just probably best just get the post off. Get the post off. Just don't have that reputation. Because I know what happens. You try and help people, but it just comes back to kick you in the ass. That's just a fact. So there we are, guys. That is it. And Box Mining has just come online with a video about Robin Hood. So that should be thrilling. I do like Box Mining. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that I'm a different type of YouTuber. Different type of cryptocurrency YouTuber. And that is just the way it is. So, let's take some last questions. Let's take some last questions. Because I've been online now for a while. Chaincoin. Chaincoin was just a bad call, basically. If you look at the video, Chaincoin was, if you look at the video, it was basically me saying the community found it. I'm not trying to take blame off myself, but what I'm saying is that the point of that video was the power of community. The community found it, and it's doing really well. You look at it, looks like it's got some good features. Obviously, you know, I didn't really look into it that much at that point. I was just saying this is basically what's happening, and that's it. And make your own mind up on it. Max Lee was the one behind Chaincoin, not me. So, you know, but yeah, I did take my I did you know, say something at it. Please look at the play kit. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So anyway, I think that's it. I think that is it for this. Who is this absolute retard? Let's get him off. See, this is what I do. You see, this is how I counter the whole trolls thing. I just ban them. I just block them because they're spastics that don't deserve any kind of attention. Okay, so instead of reacting, I just block them because they're spaz. They're complete dicks. I think that's it, because otherwise people are just asking me questions about other coins and stuff, which I'm not looking at now, because otherwise this will turn into like the longest cryptocurrency live stream ever. But anyway, let's move away from the negativity. I've got it out of my system. Yeah, look at those guns. I feel good now. I feel good. So anyway, is there a rumor that a good coin will be listed on Bittrex? Should we buy fast? Coin kick. Don't know. Do your research, basically. I don't actually know the answer to that. I am in the community staking pool for B3. Yeah. Data Dash is good, but you know he's no me. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright guys, that is it. That is all from me today. What I will say though is, there's competition. So, I've got today's winner. I am going to be, where is he again? Rigorous. So Rigorous, you've got 100 of my number 1 coins coming to you. For tomorrow's video, make sure you put in a wicked comment so that you can essentially be in with a chance. But you have to subscribe. Anyway, so that is it for today's video. I think that is it. If we could have a quick like spike to end this, that would be very, very handy. Otherwise, thank you for joining me on this little ranty video, which I felt was necessary to get out of my system and my bouffanty hair today. So guys, it is lights out, all out.